Hey guys, welcome to the Captain Fizz and Mask Guy show. I know. I am really excited, or maybe I'm not. I don't know. But anyways, on tonight's show, we will be discussing some interesting lawsuit developments between uh, Walt Disney and a certain lightsaber school in the New York area. We'll be talking, of course, later on in the show about Central Canada Comic Con, better known to us as C4.
The greatest moment in life.
Yes, it is. Second only to the birth of my son. And then, you know what? Hey, we make this stuff up as we go along. So, you know what? Come along, enjoy us for the ride, and hit the music.
Welcome back to the Captain Fizz and Mask Guy show. Of course, I am Captain Fizz.
And greetings once again from the 7th Moon of Thunder. I am that Mask Guy.
And it is 9 days and 10 hours till C4.
Give or take a couple of minutes.
But that's exciting news. With just over a week, and we will be at by far one of the greatest North American comic conventions. Well, okay, Canadian comic conventions, but definitely in the top 5 of North America. Okay, top 3. Top 2?
I honestly, I don't even know if San Diego can hold
Screw
the candle.
Top 1.
There you go.
Only because we're Canadian and we're a little egotistical,
and we've never actually been to any other Comic Cons.
And not only that, but this is the only city where where C4 actually puts on not 1, not 2, but 3 very unique conventions during a year, and that is rare when for any city.
Well,
and we could do more.
We could definitely do more. I mean, the one thing about Winnipeg is that we are very much a convention city. So, I've actually stated this in some of my own writings. The way Winnipeg is literally the center of North America. Now, granted, there's a lot above us. But I mean, if you actually look,
there's polar bears and penguin look-alike things.
If you look at it, Winnipeg is almost the dead center of North America. Even though the fact that there's a lot more people who live south of us and to cities to both the west and east of us. But I mean, this makes this a perfect location for conventions, and particularly, I mean, comic book conventions.
Yes, and we've recently talked about there was the comic book and toy expo, which also was put on by C4. So technically they run 4, not 3. So they run C4, which is the main Comic Con in October, which I can't wait for.
Yeah.
Then they got the Horror Con, which of course is on Valentine's Day, generally, or somewhere near there, and then they got the expo. Pop Culture Expo.
There you go.
And that was this year was actually my first time appearing at that one, and I definitely enjoyed it. Met my childhood icon, Mr. PJ Phil from
Phil from the early days of YTV.
Yes, so definitely always great to be there. And you and I both commented on a post for C4 earlier this week, where they were talking about what brings people back to C4 every year, and you and I both had some really great answers. And I think this is generally what most people feel. For us, it's a family. You can skip a year or two, and you come back. People recognize you. They recognize who you are, and what you're wearing. So it really becomes a family. And I think that's what really makes these conventions I don't know, greater than most, and I've been to ones in different cities and never had that atmosphere, that feeling like I've had here in Winnipeg.
Well, there's something definitely to be said about us here. I mean, first off, Winnipeg may have a bit of a bum rap, but I mean, they definitely are.
We do have a bum rap, but when it comes to Halloween weekend and Comic-Con is on, that bum rap really goes away when you walk downtown and you see all these people in costumes and you listen to the people talking. Nothing else matters but C4. And I think that shows the greatness of our city and what these people have been able to put on year after year after year. And for us to pretty much count down the days until this event is really kind of showing exactly what it means to us and to the rest of this beautiful, beautiful city in October.
Big, beautiful world.
So yes, 9 days, 10 hours, and some odd minutes.
Yeah.
And of course, one of the main guests this year, which and I'm not a Trekkie fan, per se, but I'm definitely excited to see William Shatner here in Winnipeg.
This will be William Shatner's actually second time here at C4. I know that I'm trying to remember. He was here, I believe it was 3 years ago.
Yeah, he was actually here the year that I went to the comic convention out in Edmonton, and got blown away by the complete opposite convention that they put on out there. Ours is definitely really focused on comic books and the geek culture, and theirs is more just showing off what the city does best. So it's a really different atmosphere. You're not going to get the same feeling in every showing, but it's definitely, this is where we belong.
I can't really argue that. I'm very excited about this. Unfortunately, a couple of guests were unable to make it this year.
And both the ones that I was actually looking forward to seeing. John Rhys Davies, I think it is, who played Gimli from Lord of the Rings, also was in Chronicles of Shannara, and Indiana Jones. He unfortunately had to postpone appearing, which really disappoints me because I was actually looking forward to meeting such an iconic character.
And again, and myself as well, because of how much I loved him from Indiana Jones and from Lord of the Rings, and he had another show which is unfortunately just kind of skipped my mind right now, but it was actually a show that Sweet Daddy D and I used to watch back in the day. So unfortunately, it's just, why can't I remember the name of it? But yeah, I'm really wishing that he had. Oh, yeah, whatever. I'm getting pointed at here, ladies and gentlemen. While we're talking, I'm trying to do some social media stuff. We really do need to go off and hire a social media expert because I'm pretty much that guy.
Hey, whoa.
While I'm trying to do everything else.
Have you not seen our Facebook page as of lately? It has actually been quite popular. It has definitely been at least 2-3 posts every single day by yours truly.
And I would just like to go off and just like to add, thank you for everyone who has went off and has liked our page. We have kind of exploded. And recently we're now getting like 1 or 2 new likes every single day on the Facebook page. So thank you guys. Really, much appreciated.
Yeah, you guys are what keeps us going and what definitely motivates us to talk about what we talk about. But we got the list up here.
I'll bring up. Of course, there's William Shatner, best known for Star Trek.
These are the guests that will be appearing at Comic-Con this coming week.
Yeah, it's there's Mark
Pellegrino. Pellegrino.
Who's been on shows like Supernatural, Dexter, Being Human.
He's best known as Lucifer from Supernatural.
There you go. He was in Tomorrowland. Just to name a few. This guy is probably he's probably one of the best known working actors in our genre.
Yeah, and like when you look at some of the names we're getting, and I apologize. I'm not used to
Yeah.
someone else's phone, but I.
No, you know, I mean,
I wanted to.
I mean, this guy's been on X-Files. He's been Northern Exposure. He's been on ER. So I mean, again, a really well established actor. And unfortunately, my phone was being a POS tonight.
Yeah, you know, given we're not going to give like the stats and all that for every single person, we're just going to do a quick rundown
But, I mean,
of what this convention is really bringing to town. And definitely it's going to be a big thing, right?
Yeah, Taya Carey, who's best known for Wayne's World and Relic Hunter, she'll be
Wayne's
here.
World.
Lee Arnsberg, who's best known as that bald-headed, pirate from Pirates of the Caribbean, and who's appeared in Once Upon a Time, he'll be there as well. Axis Smash Demolition, former 3-time WWF World Tag Team Champion.
And it's been a while since we've actually had wrestlers featured
We usually
at
have
Comic-Con.
a couple of icons every single year. Rob Van Dam was actually here last year.
Right, I forgot about him.
And as for cosplayers, we probably have one of the best known cosplayers of all time. Yaya Han is going to be here this year. And I really expect, really phenomenal, like a phenomenal costume from Yaya. She is really, her costumes are, very well made. I'm sure there's quite a few young teen boys who go off and fantasize about her. And probably some 20-some-odd-year-old men as well.
But we're definitely very well known for our cosplayers who attend these events now, as of the last few, and I believe there are a few other ones.
There's quite a few others. Alex Ponyuk from Battlestar Galactica is going to be here. The other one is Debbie Derryberry. Pardon me, I'm really bad at this. Who's known for her voice work on shows like Monster High, and Jimmy Neutron will be here as well. And then, this is part of this year's Comic-Con is we're going to go off and celebrating 50 years of Star Trek. Pardon me, I'm having going through a bit of a social media thing right now, and your favorite, Ryu, is going to be back.
Yes, Ryu Lavitz, who actually first appeared in Winnipeg last year at the Comic-Con, is back for a second year, which I think is pretty unique, and it shows exactly what our city brings when you get cosplayers or different people coming more than 1 year, who keep coming back and back and back. So,
and this is a big thing here in Winnipeg. If you guys have never been here, this thing is absolutely crazy. It takes over all 3 levels of the RBC Convention Center, which is in downtown Winnipeg. I do recommend...
It makes downtown Winnipeg.
It's one of those crazy things. If you guys want to come on Saturday, make sure you get here early, because this place is just absolutely crazy. I remember 3 years ago trying to go to the convention with my wife and my son, who was only 9 months old at the time. And we couldn't even get anywhere near the building. There were skywalks, and you could see people. It didn't help that there was a Winnipeg Jets game at the same time, mind you, but it was absolutely just crazy.
Yeah.
This, honestly, is probably one of the biggest conventions, if not the single biggest convention, that the city of Winnipeg puts on every single year.
Oh, it definitely is the biggest. This will actually be the first year that I'm going to be all 3 days. And I will be dressing up in, usually I dress up in one thing or another, usually store-bought costumes, unfortunately. This is actually going to be the first year I display some of my own creativity. I've got 2 different costumes or, ideas that I will be going as during the weekend. So, if you follow us and you're in the city and you kind of want to, hanging around some people who kind of know what they're doing a little bit, just a little, hit me up, because I'll be there all weekend, and I got a huge entourage that'll be following me around most of the weekend.
I will be there on Sunday this year, just because I work this Saturday on my actual paying job, so I won't be able to get anywhere.
And Sunday is one of the better days, anyways. It's towards the end. You tend to actually be able to meet the people easier as opposed to most days.
It is. The one nice thing about going on Sundays is most people ended up showing up on